Skating. Figure skating, that's what I was trying to think of. The yearning this man had was so good. I tried my best. Look at my little Christmas cup. Isn't she so cute? In today's video, I want to talk about some romance recommendations that I have that I want to share with y'all. Please ignore this stack over here. This is a different video. I have a lot of recommendations and I have kind of organized them a bit. Oh my gosh, my nose. Allergies are just not my friends recently. This gloomy weather we've been having recently in Virginia Beach is literally killing the vibes because I have to go to work. But it's the weekend, so I actually do plan to read with the stormy weather today. Alright, starting off, I want to start with the biggest series that I've read so far that I'm really enjoying, whether the series is done and I finished it, or the series is continuing and I haven't finished it, or it's not entirely out yet. All that stuff. So, starting off, I have Bridgerton. We have the first 3 I've read. I absolutely been loving Bridgerton. I have the rest of the series on my Christmas list, so hopefully I do get the rest of the series. I would love it if I did, because these are just cozy, kicking my feet romances, and I'm loving every second of it. And it's just, I cannot describe it more than that. It is a cozy, kicking my feet romance. So good. If I were to put these in order, I don't know. Well, I do know, but I also don't entirely agree, but I know that's how I would put it in order. It would literally be 3. So number 3, which is An Offer from a Gentleman. This is Sophie and Benedict, which that season is coming out in the show this January. I think it's January. No, or is it March? I don't know. It's sometime in 2026. I am so excited to see this because I was kicking and giggling my feet. And then like a close millisecond behind it is the Viscount Who Loved Me, Anthony. Oh my god. Anthony is just he's just the perfect man. He really is, because, you know, there's some things he could work on, but he's so good. I love him. So Anthony, and then of course Daphne and Simon. Oh yeah, and Kate. Oh my gosh, wait, I almost forgot about Kate. Kate, my girl, my love. The comebacks, the competition. I just, I love. And it's so different than the show, but it's also the same story, but it's so different. I loved it. And I'm kind of hoping we get the same one with this, because also Sophie in this, I love her character so freaking much. I love her storyline. Love her backstory. I just like Cinderella retelling, so that's really my thing here. And then Simon and Daphne. This is the first book, so in any kind of series, the first book is not always, most likely gonna be like a 4-star for me. But this is like a 4.5 in my opinion. I really did enjoy this stuff. I was kicking my feet. I was giggling. I was having a grand old time. This was so freaking good. Anthony and Kate. This was a 5-star, and this was also a 5-star. And I'm just so excited to continue the entire series. You have no idea, except for the fact that I've said excited multiple times. That probably tells you how excited I am. Oh, it fell. That wasn't very nice. This one is a completed series, and I loved this series. But if you are not a big smut person, this series is probably not for you, because this is smut with a semi-storyline. There's not that much of a storyline, to be completely honest with you. This is just smut and emotions. So yeah. Anyways, get into it. We have the Priest series by Sarah Simone. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, I will be honest, Priest is actually not my favorite. It's the first book in the series because I did not care about the characters, but I cared about the it's not okay, actually I lied. It's not about the fact that I don't care about the characters, it's the fact that the girl felt so 2D. She just felt so flat that I was like, okay, and guy, just get your girl. That's all I was saying. I not, you know, anything about the girl. I was just like, whatever. Also, if you notice some of my nails are gone, please ignore that. Okay? Trying to get them off without paying for it. Anyways, okay. This is Priest struggling to see if he's going to stay with the priesthood, even though he finds this woman very attractive, but her story is a bit more complicated than he thinks. That is Priest. This was about 3.5 stars for me. I think I'm saying that's how I would rate it now. I have no idea how I rated it back then, knowing that this is one of the first like smut with no real plot line book I read. I may have put it higher, I may have put it lower. I really don't recall what I did. But I know that I absolutely love Sinner. This one was definitely my second favorite. It's like neck and neck with the second book and the third book, which I will talk about in a second. But I forgot his name. Yep. Sean Bell and Zenny. Why did I think she had a different Z name? Anyways, she wants to be a nun and go celibate for the rest of her life, but she wants to explore everything before she does that, and she approaches him. This is brother's best friend and best friend's sister. Obviously, I hope I said that correctly, but this was so good, and I wouldn't trust them in the kitchen is all I'm gonna say. And then we have Saint. This is an MM romance. This is Aiden and Elijah. Aiden turned himself into, or decided to become a monk instead of living his playboy lifestyle, and he was seeing this guy a couple years ago named Elijah, who is the brother of the sister in here and the best friend of the brother in here. So it's again brother's best friend, but guy version. Anyways, he becomes a monk and Elijah comes to his monastery to write an article. Turns out he's at Aiden's monastery and he has no idea that Aiden did this. They had like a falling out or something, and Aiden had no idea where he went. Or not Aiden, Elijah had no idea where he went, and they reconnect, and it's really good. But the mental health representation in this helped me so much. Like, in a weird way, it helped me understand some of the things that I had been feeling, and that I'm actually, now thinking about it, I should probably reread this. This will probably help again. But it was definitely eye-opening and in a way like vindicating, is that the word I'm looking for? Basically felt heard in this, so I definitely recommend this. This series was so good. It's a quick little read. It's deep if you want to feel it. It's surface level smut if you don't want to feel the deeper emotional runs through this, but it is so good. I highly recommend. This is Priest by Sarah Simone. The next series that I want to talk about is also one of my favorite 5-star series. Now, not every book in this series and the other series in the kind of the universe is a 5-star book, but it is a 5-star series because of the feelings I get about this universe, about all the characters in it, and the little glimpses of them. I love this interconnected series. And instead of repeating myself for the 500th time by saying the word series, we're just gonna show them. Now, I did decide, since these are interconnected standalone romance books, that I am only gonna show my top tier of the series. If you disagree with that, that is totally fine. That's totally fine. I have certain reasons I didn't like certain ones. Originally, I loved the first book, and then upon further reflection, I was like, ooh, you know what, that is kind of red flag-ish. But this is the Twisted Love series. You can see the rest of it right there. But my absolute favorite of the entire series was Twisted Games. Hands down, Reese and Bridget were just, I don't know what they had in their plot line that made me love it so much. But I absolutely loved it. I remember one scene where he is like shirtless and I think he's like working out and she's like by the pool reading. And he goes, "Is the book good?" She's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, it's upside down." It's something like that happens. And I'm like, girly got caught red-handed. I loved it. It was kicking my feet. It was giggling. It didn't have, if I remember correctly, it didn't have like the big plot twist that kind of like happened in a lot of her books. It was a bit more on the softer side. And I just loved it anyways. So we have Bridget, who is the princess of this kingdom. This is set in the real world, but just add an extra kingdom in there, right? And she's the princess. But, what does it say? Oh yeah, but when her brother abdicates, she is suddenly forced, nope. She suddenly faces the prospect of a loveless political expedient marriage and a throne she never wanted. So her brother abdicates, and obviously that's going to make her the queen, and so she needs a bodyguard. So enter Reese Lawson. Or Larson, whatever. I want to reread so much. Doing all these recommendations is making me want to reread stuff. Tell me if I should do a reread vlog next year. But oh my gosh. This man makes me giggle. Okay, this man is legit making me giggle. I haven't read this book in years. He has 2 rules: protect his client at all costs and never become emotionally involved ever. I just love them. Okay, I'm gonna stop staring at this. I hope y'all basically get what the book is about. Another book in that series that I really enjoyed, I had 0 qualms about, is Twisted Lies. This one is a bit chunkier, full warning, but it is so fucking good. This is a stalker romance. And just, I love it. He's a threat from her past that drives her to Christian. Christian is our male main character. He is the CEO, I believe, of the security company, and Stella, is the influencer. Oh my gosh, I love this. I'll be completely honest, like this is the second one in the series for me. Theirs is a love twisted with secrets and tainted by lies, but when the truths are finally revealed, they could shatter everything. Oh my gosh, so good. Every monster has his weakness. She is his obsession, his addiction, his only exception. So yeah, that's basically how I recommend. I don't know if I've even convinced you to read it, besides maybe my facial expressions have convinced you. I would hope so, because there's not much else I can say except for, once again, I was kicking my feet the entire time. Kicking and giggling. Ooh, I forgot to say that the Twisted Love series that I just talked about is by Anna Huang, and that is also the other series that we are going to talk about. Same author, kind of in the same universe. And the next 2 books that we're going to talk about, which are my favorite that I've read of the series so far, is Kings of Sin by Anna Huang. Kings of Sin by Anna Huang. So what she's deciding to do with this series, as far as I know and the trend is showing, is that she signed a deal to make 7 more books after the Twisted Love series. And each book is going to be one of the deadly sins: sloth, greed, wrath, pride, envy. I forgot what the other ones are, but she'll come out with them and they will remind us which ones they are. But I am so excited to finish it. So the first book that I really enjoyed in this series was King of Wrath. This is a forced marriage with Dante and Vivian. They really did hate each other's guts in the beginning. This was good. This was good. Dante Russo thrives on control, both professionally and personally. He never planned to marry until the threat of blackmail forces him into an engagement with a woman he barely knows. Vivian Liu, jewelry heiress and daughter of his newest enemy, the wife he never wanted and the weakness he never saw coming. And then for Vivian, marrying a blue-blooded Russo means open doors that would otherwise remain closed to her new money parents. With the rude, elusive Dante isn't her idea of a perfect dream partner. She agrees to their arranged marriage out of duty. Craving his touch was never part of the plan. Neither was the worst possible outcome, falling in love with her future husband. You're gonna tell me that wasn't good? That doesn't sound so good? Then you're lying to yourself, okay? That's all I have to say. I believe I gave this 4 stars as well. And then we also have King of Pride, which the more I think about, the more I did enjoy. It was just slower than I would have liked. So I was like feeling myself losing interest, but I also was in a reading slump at the time. So yes, am I not exactly giving it its time to shine? Yes. But I also think that one's going to be worth it for some people. On top of that, I just finished this one and I finished it in 3 days, which is kind of unheard of me. Partly that's because of the reading challenge I did, partly because I was eating this book alive. It was so freaking good. And that is King of Greed, Dominic and Alexandria. Alyssa, because it's not an X, it's an S. Alexandria. Oh, whatever. Allie. I'm gonna call her Allie. This is about Allie and Dominic. This is a second chance romance in a marriage. And it was so freaking good. I ate up every freaking second of this book. It was so delicious. The little twists. Oh, the little turns. Oh, he was trying so hard. The yearning this man had was so good. Now, could I feel like he could have changed a few more things? Yes. But I also, I was okay with it. It was fine. Look, sir, if that's how you think you should do this, fine. As long as you stick to it. That's all I care about. That's all she cares about. Just treat her right. So those are the 2 books in the King of Sin series that I absolutely loved and I absolutely recommend. This is a standalone series, so you don't have to read the whole thing, but I highly recommend it because this couple comes back in this book for a bit. So heads up. First 2 books in this series, and I absolutely loved it. It is one of my first cowboy romances, if I remember correctly, and that is the Chestnut Springs series. We have the first book, Flawless by Elsie Silver. Then we have Heartless. Then there's Powerless, Reckless, and because I didn't realize that this was the last book, and which means I have to wait on reading it, we have Hopeless. This will not be read for some time, but that is fine. Also, kicking and giggling. Oh my god, this was so good. So we have Rhett and Summer. He is a bull rider. She's the publicist to clean up his image, and things happen. Her backstory is so good. Her storyline is so good. His storyline is solid, but I definitely would say, is like the biggest main character of this. He does have a stuff going on and all that, but I loved hers even more. But them together, absolutely loved the phone call. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know. So good, so much, loved. And this is about Cade and, oh my god, I forgot her name, Willa. There we go. This is about Cade and Willa. She is a she is a city girl. He is a country boy, single dad to a little boy. He is such an amazing dad. No one can convince me that Single Dad isn't the best thing ever. I love Single Dad with so much heart, like so much passion. Love it. Every single one I love. You will see in one other of these that I love a Single Dad romance. He is in charge of his family's bull farm, I believe, or ranch, not bull farm, that makes no sense, of his ranch. And she is a city girl taking a break for the summer, and she is hired as his nanny. This is also Summer's best friend. So you see Willa a little bit in here, and you do get Summer and Rhett in here because Rhett is the brother of Cade. So it's a whole family tie kind of thing. But Willa is the nanny to his little boy, and you see it progress from there. That's all I'm going to say on that. But these I highly recommend. Before I forget, 4 stars, 4.5, 5. I can't remember what I did, but it was like definitely more than 4.5. Something like that. All right. This next one is also a series that I've read more than one book of. You know what? Should I just say the assumption is I was kicking and giggling my feet the whole time? Is that the assumption I should make? But this is the, I don't even know what the series is called actually. It's the Maple Hills series. And that is Icebreaker and Wildflower. Wildflower is definitely my favorite of the 2 that I've read so far. There is more in this series, but I just don't remember and I don't have them. So go check those out if any of this sounds interesting. But we have Icebreaker. This is about Anastasia and Nate. He's a hockey player. She's an ice dancer. Right? That's what it's called. Ice skating dancer. Anyway, something happens to her skating partner and he has to step in, and it's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh. He tries so hard for her. And she's so type A. It's so funny. If I remember correctly, like she is like go, 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 go. Everything has to be planned. Everything has to be good. She does have anxiety. There's really good anxiety reputation in this book. So if you like that, read it. If you don't. But it is about Anastasia Allen has worked her entire life for a shot at Team USA. It looks like everything is going according to plan when she gets a full scholarship to the University of California, Maple Hills, and lands a place on their competitive figure skating, that's what I was trying to think of, team. Nothing will stand in her way, not even the captain of the hockey team, Nate Hawkins. Nate's focus as team captain is keeping his team on the ice, which is tricky when the facilities mishap means that they're forced to share a rink with the figure skating team, including Anastasia, who clearly cannot stand him. But when Anastasia's skating partner faces an uncertain future, she may have to look to Nate to take her shot. Sparks fly, but Anastasia isn't worried because she could never like a hockey player, right? Wrong. And I loved every second of it. And then we have Wildflower. This is the teammate of Nate, and he is a camp counselor who falls for another camp counselor. At a party celebrating the end of the academy year, Maple Hill students Russ Callahan and Aurora Roberts have a passionate one-night stand. Never one to overstay her welcome or expect much from a man, Aurora slips away before Russ has the chance to even ask her full name. Days later, they run into each other at their new jobs as summer camp counselors, hoping to escape their complicated home lives. Russ knows breaking the camp's strict staff fraternization rule will have him headed back to Maple Hills before the summer is over, but unfortunately for him, Aurora has never been good at caring about the rules. I loved this one so much. If you can't tell, there's a bit more wear on this one. Sadly, if that happened. But look at how cute and handsome. Oh my gosh, so good. Highly recommend. This 4 stars. 4 stars? Maybe now I would say like a 4.25. The next stack for romance books that I have is romance books that are part of a series but I've only read one book of. and there's some good ones. And I will let you know whether I'm going to continue the series or not, which I guess I didn't do that for... Let's just assume that everything I just talked about, I'm finishing the series of, because I am so excited for them. So, we have Lights Out by Nessa Allen. A couple who slays together stays together. Oh, yes, they do. This is a dark romance stalker. Or a dark romance stalker book. Why does that sound weird? I want someone with a soul as black as night, someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. Trauma nurse Allie doesn't need any more kinks. She likes the one she landed on just fine. To her, nothing would top the masked men that she follows online. She fantasizes about one man in particular hunting her down, but she could never have guessed that one drunken text could have made all those dreams a reality. I want things most people don't, crave darkness and depravity instead of love and light. Josh has spent his entire life avoiding the limelight, but his online persona is another story. At night, he posts mass thirst traps for millions of his fans, but one follower has caught his eye, Allie. Together, Allie and Josh live out their darkest fantasies, unaware that Allie has captured the attention of someone far more sinister intentions. As Josh turns from predator to protector, he must ask himself how far he'll go for the woman he's obsessed with. So as you can see, it's a stalker romance. And if you want silly, goofy banter, if you want a man that you get every single thought that this man has, and they are all absolutely funny, I highly recommend this book. I listened to the audiobook. That is what I recommend more than anything. If you're going to listen to me about anything that I recommend, it is the audiobook for Lights Out. So good. I was giggling. I was laughing. No, this okay. Everything else I've said, I was giggling and kicking my feet. I was laughing out loud listening to Lights Out. I was dying. So good. So good. I won't be continuing the series though, because I have not heard great things about book 2, and this one did it for me. I don't need to see anything else, to be perfectly honest with you. This one sold me pretty much. So, just letting you know, I'm not continuing the series. This was a 5 stars simply because of the vibes. It is not because it was good writing or anything like that. I don't even remember. I don't critique that kind of stuff. I'm here for the vibes. Fantasy, I critique a bit more because of world building and all that. But I seriously enjoyed every single millisecond of this book. That's a 5-star book for me. All right. Complain with a wall. All right, the next book I listened on audiobook a long time ago. It is a mafia romance. I don't have a lot of mafia romances that I know of or that I've enjoyed, but I'm definitely going to continue this series, and that is The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie, right? Yeah. It is the Maid series. That's the name of the series. It is the Maid series. Down at the bottom. That's the only way I remember. But this was so good. Okay. Nickname Sweetie for her docile nature, Elena smiles on cue and has a charming response for everything. She's the favorite daughter and the perfect mafia princess, or was. Now all she can see in the mirror reflection is blood staining her hands like crimson paint. They saw first impressions are everything. He is supposed to be, this is an arranged marriage, but him and her sister are supposed to be arranged, but she was nicknamed like Sweet Ablini or something like that, and she's starting to learn that she has a taste for the dark, is basically what it says. And oh boy does she. I actually want to reread this because I listened to the audiobook. I think I want to do it again physically because they do hit differently. But anyways, I want to continue this series also, so I'm going to reread it and then do the rest of the series. Next, we have another dark romance. Oh yeah, the Mafia book is a dark romance, by the way. Let you know. Another dark romance, The Never King. This is by Nikki St. Crow. It's a very short book. I loved it. This is a Peter Pan retelling, the actual Peter Pan story retelling. Maybe the book is what's killing my allergies. Jesus Christ, there. Never let him take you. The stories were all wrong. Hook was never the villain. For 2 centuries, all of the darling women have disappeared on their 18th birthday. Sometimes they're gone for only a day, some a week, a month, but they always return broken. Now, on the afternoon of her 18th birthday, my mother is running around the house, making sure all the windows are locked, barred, and the doors... Windows are barred and the doors are locked. But it's pointless, because when night falls, he comes for me. And this time, the Never King and the Lost Boys aren't willing to let me go. Note. The Never King is a dark retelling of Peter Pan and Wendy. If you like your enemies to lovers romance with hot, ruthless, morally gray love interest, you'll enjoy The Never King and the Lost Boys. You can expect hate kissing, fighting, bickering, touch her and I'll kill you vibes. This is 18 and up. Definitely continuing the series. I really enjoyed it. So yeah. That's all I need to say because I read that blurb. So we're gonna move on. Next we have Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is a hockey romance series and I am continuing the series. I know that some people are like, oh, I wasn't really a big fan of it, yada, yada, yada. I was. I really liked the first book, and I heard it gets even better in the rest of the series. So I'm like, sign me up. It is a bit chunky for a romance book. I think it's, okay, so no, maybe it's feeling chunky. I also read this on my Kindle, and it just felt long as hell, but I was enjoying my time with it. For a shot at love, he'll do whatever it takes. Carter Beckett is an NHL, gotta make sure I say that right, best player, both on and off the ice. His career is at a peak, and his team is performing better than no shortage of women to spend the night with. What more could he want? Olivia Parker isn't new to professional hockey players, thanks to her best friend's boyfriend. But she has no interest in dating one herself, no matter how hot he is. And anyway, she loves working as a teacher. Oh man, my allergies. Loves working as a teacher and hanging out with her best friend drama-free. Why would she want to spend her time stroking the ego of an arrogant athlete? Basically, he gets obsessed, like, immediately. Not like stalker obsessed or anything like that. Wow, I sounded disappointed. But he absolutely falls for her, and he has to convince her to give him a chance. And I loved every second of it. This is also a 4 stars for me. Oh yeah, Sweetest Oblivion was 3, I believe. And then The Never King was also a 3. I'm gonna say a 3 point. No, I'm gonna say a 3. Just because I enjoyed it. But it's not like it has a big plot or anything. So it was just a nice quick read. But this, 4 stars. And I cannot wait to finish the series. Okay, the rest are all going to be standalone romances. First, we have The Nanny. This is by Lana Ferguson. Single dad. Guys, I said it once, I'll say it again. Single dad. Love every second of a single dad. So good. So we have a woman discovers the father of a child she is nannying for might be her biggest only fan in this steamy contemporary romance. That is literally all I'm gonna say. Actually, I've decided that is all I'm gonna say. He's a chef, and it literally says DILF extraordinaire. Guys, just go into it blind. It was good. It was a silly, goofy time. I enjoyed it. Next, we have also love the movie. Loved the movie so much. It was so good. We have Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. True love isn't always diplomatic. Indeed, it is not. This was so good. We have Son of the President and Son of the King of England. Enemies to lovers. Well, more like rivals to lovers. I really enjoyed this one. I wasn't even halfway done with the audiobook, and I already went to the bookstore to pick up the actual book. If I remember correctly, that's how that went. Yeah, because I'm not seeing any annotations. Taylor Jenkins Reid said it's outrageously fun, romantic, sexy, witty, and thrilling, and it absolutely was, darling. Okay, that's not my real accent, but you know, oh well. I mean, I could, ooh, should I do it? Okay, what happens when American's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales? I'm trying not to, like, lose my cool. Oh, see, I was gonna do my British accent, but it's in the voice of Alex, so I can't. Okay. When his mother becomes president of the United States, Alex Claremont Diaz is promptly casted as America's equivalent of a young royal. Handsome, charismatic genius, his image is purely millennial marketing gold. There's only one problem. Alex has beef with the actual Prince Henry across the pond. And when the tabloids get involving Alex and Henry in an altercation, a U.S.-British relations takes a turn for the worse. Heads of families, state, and other handlers devise a plan for the damage control, stage a truce between the rivals. But at first, what at first begins as a fake Instagrammable friendship grows deeper and more dangerous than Alex or Henry could imagine. Soon, Alex finds himself hurling into a secret romance with a surprisingly unstuffy Henry who derails the presidential campaign and upends two nations. It raises the question, can love save the world after all? Where do we find the courage and the power to be the people we are meant to be, and how we learn to let our true colors shine through? So, here's the thing about this book. Obviously, it's an MM romance, but Alex Claremont Diaz is bisexual. So, samesies. Yeah, I resonated with a lot of what he was saying. I also didn't come out for a really long time. Because like for me, it's like, okay, if it comes up, I'll tell you, but like, I'm not gonna go out of my way and be like, hey guys, guess what? Because I'm also in a hetero relationship that I'm not leaving at all. Literally at all. This is my man's. But that is a part of me, and for a long time I was like, well, obviously, like, I'm only interested in like dating guys, because bisexual is a spectrum. Look, I'm not getting into this. Basically, what I'm saying is I understood a little bit of how he was feeling and how it is to be bisexual, and it felt very good to hear like him talking about it, because it is not something I really allowed myself to admit until like, I don't know, a year or two. Like, it hasn't been that long, and it was just very nice to be able to read this. So I definitely recommend, if you're having a hard time or anything like that, that this is a silly, goofy time. Like, you don't have to take yourself serious about this, but you can feel connected to the feelings that he goes through, and I really enjoyed it. This was a 4.5 for me, and I highly recommend. Next, this is a book I definitely know a lot of people have not heard of. This is a 2010s book, all right? It's been with me for a while, but I didn't read it, or actually finish it, until a while ago. So, but I had it years before that. We have Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkins. So good. She's the popular girl. He is the bad boy in a Mexican gang, but he doesn't want to be in the gang, and they're trying to figure that out. And she is not as perfect as you would think. She has a sister with disabilities. I forget what it is. I don't think it says exactly what her sister has, but they are put together for a project, and things go a little awry for them, and I loved every second of this. I believe I gave it a 3.5 stars. Also, she has like the whitest name, Brittany, so it was kind of funny. And then now the next three are a bit well known, but I'm gonna give my opinions on them anyways. First off, we have The Love Hypothesis. This is a STEM romance. So good. We have a third-year PhD candidate, Olive, doesn't last in romantic relationships, but her best friend does. So she has to convince her best friend that she is over her ex, and she gets the professor to help her out. It's so cute. Like, that's such a good friend to be like, no, seriously, I don't care about him. Let me give you this fake boyfriend that I have and then sell you on the fact that I'm sold on him to let you date my ex because I really don't care. And I love that. So Alex is the hotshot professor that agreed to be her fake boyfriend, but surprises her with his unyielding support. Loved. I believe this was also a 4.5 for me. Then we have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Same place, different times. So to sum this up really quick, her aunt had this apartment, and sadly she passes away, and so she inherits the apartment. But she learns that this apartment goes back in times, either 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future, and hers keeps going to 7 years in the past when the apartment was being rented out by some guy who's trying to make it as a chef. And she realizes that the stories that her aunt has been telling her entire life about the apartment are all true. And she learns a lot about herself, a lot about this guy, a lot about time. This was a very emotionally hard-hitting book for me. I absolutely loved it, but I was also still giggling a good portion of this book. So I definitely recommend 7-Year Slip. This was 4.5 as well. I think it was leaning towards 5 stars though. The final book that I'm going to talk about is a 5-star God tier book series for me personally, and that is Love in Other Words. I have 2 copies of this, but this is my favorite cover of it so far. But this is by Christina Hanna. No, that's not it at all. Christina Lauren, and it is so good. This is a second chance romance, best friends to lovers, and oh my gosh, the misunderstanding that happened in this is so fucking crazy. Oh my gosh. And it's just, full warning, there is a third act breakup, but it is worth it. Look. I know you were about to skip, you were about to leave, but don't do that, because it's worth it and it makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. Like, most people would react that way, so like, it makes sense. But it's so good. All right, we have Macy, president, planning her wedding to an older, financially stable, secure man, keeping her head down and her heart tucked away. But when she runs into Elliot, the first and only love of her life, the careful bubble she constructed begins to dissolve. Once upon a time, Elliot was Macy's entire world, growing from her gangly, bookish friend into the man who coaxed her heart open again, only to break it on the very night he declared his love for her. Told in the alternating timelines between then and now, teen Elliot and Macy grow from being friends to much more, spending weekends and lazy summers together in the house outside of San Francisco, devouring books, sharing favorite words, and talking about their growing pains and triumphs. As adults, they have become strangers to one another until their chance reunion. I'm not going to cry. Although their memories are obscured by the agony of what happened that night many years ago, Elliot will come to understand the truth behind Macy's decade-long silence, and will have to overcome the past and himself to revive her faith in the possibility of all-consuming love. Woo! Boy, does this... It did that for me. It literally did that for me. I loved every second of this book. I genuinely sobbed. And I say this multiple times in different videos. I don't cry in books a lot. I sobbed in this. multiple times. Okay, guys? That is how much I loved it. All right. So that's it. That is all the romance recommendations that I have so far. And I really hope y'all enjoyed this. I definitely enjoyed this. Now I am super tired of talking, which I think would shock a lot of people because I yip yap a lot. I really do. To certain people, like people I'm comfortable with. You know, when I was younger, I used to talk constantly. You could literally ask anybody who knew me back then. I talked constantly. But I'm tired of talking now, and my throat kind of hurts, and I have to film another video. So I'm gonna go and get some rest and read. I'm gonna read. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I love talking to y'all about books. If y'all have any romance recommendations, if y'all have read any of these books, if you hated or liked, okay, maybe not hated because that's gonna hurt my feelings, and I think we should be nice to each other. If you have any recommendations that I should read, let me know and I will add that to my list of books in 2026 spreadsheet. I am going to go back to my roots now that the TBR is a bit more controllable, where we do a spin the wheel for my TBR and books that I don't own. So I have a spreadsheet that all my recommendations throughout the year go on to, and then I will spin the wheel and read those books and add them to my TBR for that month. So if you have any recommendations, please put them below. I would love to hear from y'all. Love y'all. Bye. Oh, and subscribe.